Okay, so in this video I'll be talking about a few cars that you may want to buy while you still have the chance. There are 3 cars that will be going off sale in the next update, which is usually every other week, and this weekend is an update weekend if you didn't know. So long as nothing unexpected happens anyway, which is always a possibility. Usually updates have happened on Sundays, however it can happen at any point during the weekend. There are a total of 3 cars that will be going off sale next update, and 2 others have had talk about going off sale in the future by Bluezilla, a Greenville developer. So here's a bit of information. If these cars end up going off sale, it would make them limited cars, which if you didn't know are cars that are no longer purchasable. But owners of the vehicle are still able to drive them around and use them normally. If they sell the cars, however, they will not be able to buy it back once it goes off sale. Once limited, it was said that they will still sell for the normal price, so there isn't anything special there. It's just the cool factor of having a limited car, basically. Bluezilla said that the first 3 cars they'll be showing in this video are going off sale next update, and that if anyone wants to buy them, they might want to consider buying them now. If they do end up going off sale, it would end up making them the first limited cars in the Greenville revamp. If you're watching this video a bit after it came out, the cars may be off sale already. But if you want them, it would still be good to check. Now with that being said, the first of the 3 cars potentially going off sale this weekend is the 2019 Western Motors Sergal Classic. There's only one trim, and it costs $46,000. There are a bunch of different color options as well, and there are 2 rim options, the 8 BRS rims and the 5 NNS rims. Here's how it looks spawned out. The wheels are the 5 NNS rims. I don't think this is actually the first ever version of a Sergal that was added into Greenville. I think in Greenville version 3 there was a slightly older version of this car that had a different bumper and taillight design. I'll put a picture on screen if I can find one. I think this might have been the first ever built Western Motors car, kind of an icon for the company. Here's a sound test. Light test. And here are the hazards. Has sequential turn signals in the back. And the front actually too. It also has DRLs up front when you turn on the car. Here's a 0 to 100 in braking test. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like this car more than I thought I would. Don't get me wrong though, I still like the 2021 version a lot more. The next car going off sale in the next update is the 2019 Western Motors Kaiju, the Western Motors Supercar. This only has one trim which costs $175,000 and it has 2 rim options, the 5XRS rims and the 5T1 wheels. This could possibly end up being the rarest limited car on this list since it's pretty expensive, and I don't know if I've ever seen one in a Greenville server after the revamp's release in the first place. Possibly due to people not knowing what it is, but that doesn't mean it's a bad supercar performance-wise. It's pretty quick in acceleration, and it has a pretty good top speed of around 200 miles per hour. Bluezilla has also said there is a possibility of this car coming back at some point as a different car. Here's how it looks spawned out. This has the 5T1 wheels, and it also has the older taillight design that I talked about the Sergal having. Here's how it sounds. Light test. Has the sequential turn signals in the back just like the Sergal did. Same for the front. Has DRLs up in the front as well. And if you press G on your keyboard, it plays a special sound. Now here's a 0 to 100 in braking test. Now for the last car that's going to be going off sale in the next update, the 2022 Western Motors Synth. There's 4 different trims, the SUV E4 MS for $90,000, the pickup E4 MS for $100,000, the SUV E4 MX for $130,000, and the pickup E4 MX for $140,000. There are a couple different color options, and there are a couple different rim options as well. The E5Q rims, the E5A rims, the E5N rims. Here's how it looks spawned out. This is the SUV E4 MS with the E5A rims. The Synth was said to be returning at some point in the future completely overhauled, so this most likely won't be a limited car forever. And here's how it sounds, even though it's electric and there's not really much to hear, but there's a chime, so yeah. There's also DRLs up front, and it says Western Motors spelled out in the middle of the DRLs. Hazards. The lights actually are LED and light up in the back. Now, there are two other cars that may be going off sale as well, although these were said to be possibly going off sale at a later date, sometime around February or March. First of the two is the 2019 Western Motors Fandom. There are a couple different trim options, the S for $43,000 and the XR for $47,500. There are two different rim options, the 5T rims and the 5BL rims. Here's how it looks spawned out. This is the S with the 5T rims. This car was said to end up being replaced at some point with a new car called the Western Motors Wyvern. Here's a sketch that Bluezilla made a while back of what the Wyvern might look like. The Fandom has a bit of noticeable camber and it sits pretty low, enough to the point where the wheels actually clip through the fenders when you're turning a certain amount. Kind of interesting. This car also sounds pretty good in my opinion. Take a listen. When you get in the car, there are a few other interesting things. First being the blue line on the RPM gauge. It's usually a red line, unless it's an electric car, but this car's engine sounds, so it isn't electric, which brings me to believe that this might be a hybrid. Another interesting thing is that the back of this car has rear running lights, even when the headlights are turned off. Here's with the headlights turned on, and here are the hazards. No sequential hazards on this car. This also has a giant daytime running light up front. Now for a 0 to 100 braking test. To be honest, I like this car more than I thought I would with all of its interesting features and how it sounds. Do note though that again, this car isn't going off sale right away in the next update. It'll probably be going off sale sometime around February or March. Same with the next/last car on this list, which is the 2020 Western Motors Protogen, which has already kind of been replaced by the 2022 Protogen that was added not too long ago, although this one is still for sale and will be for a bit. There are three different trims, the S trim for $38,000, the XR trim for $50,000, and the electric XR trim for $50,000 as well. There are a couple different rim options, the E51 rims, the 5NNS rims, the 5XNS rims, and the 5GTS rims. Here's how it looks spawned out. This is the XR with the 5XNS rims, and here's how it sounds. Light test, because the DRL's up front. Hazards. No sequential hazards on this either. And now for a 0 to 100 braking test. Now that's it for all the cars that were talked about that will be going off sale. However though, Bluezilla, who created the fictional Western Motors brand and designs all the cars, was said to be restructuring the brand and some older cars are being replaced, which is why some of these cars are going off sale. I would assume just about any current Western Motors vehicle is bound to be going off sale at some point, probably besides the 2021 Sergal and 2022 Protogen anyway. Well, maybe until the next model comes out at least. Thanks for watching, have a great day, see ya.